Miss Patrick, and I'll be your guide as we traverse through the mysteries. And what is he talking about? If you know me, you know how awesome of an idea having this right here, this close to this, and this is for me. There's already been one tragedy. So if it looks different, it's because it almost fell. Anyway, so hi. Today I'm going to do the thing that I didn't do yesterday, and I'm going to pull before and after the Magician and the Dolly Tarot, and then I'm going to pull before and after the Aces, and I'll pull before and after the pages in the SKT Revelations edition just to see, because 2 days ago I made the mistake of, but for what came out, everything happened for that reason. But I made the mistake of forgetting, apparently, that the Magician has 4 aces. It's not just 4 elements. They are aces, and so it put us in a different place. It put us in a different space. Now, I guess like a minor magician would be able to, maybe there are levels to magician. Like minor magician would have the 4 elements within that one. Major magician would be able to like use multiple elements. It's like having access to the 4 elements. And so it may branch out into another space or two, but like, did I say that right? Minor magician is all of the elements within one. Pre-magician would be all of the elements independently, meaning that they would have to branch out into at least one other. But full magician has 4 aces. So full magician would have mastered each of the steps because each ace corresponds to one of the 4. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to see what's up. Also, I watched, I think my end of 2022 video, and my word for 2019 was flow. So it was the otters. The otters was my flow year. Excuse me, and the lovers. My Empress year 2021 was actually indescribable. That was my word that year. And because the word was indescribable, I feel like it makes sense that I couldn't remember what it was, right? So my year of indescribable was the Empress clarified by the 9 of Wands, and that makes sense. The 9 of Wands, again, was like all of the initial challenges that I faced in that year, the ones that I overcame, the scare. And then allow was my word because of the scare. Again, the tower. I think I just bent these. Oh no. I try to keep my decks in as pristine condition as possible. So I don't like bending my cards. Oh, they're bent. They're bent. It looks more extreme in person. Justice. I've been seeing the tower, justice, repeat offenders. Anyway, so we're just going to do this real quick. We're going to see what's up. I'm working 3rd shift right now. As a personal aside, I don't know how 3rd shift works. Because at least when I was working my 12s, it was like I was kind of semi on 2nd shift. Like I came in like half a second. But instead of only having 12 hours off, I have 16 hours off. And I'm like, how do I manage my sleep? Because I'm still tired when I get off. If I work, 1st or even 2nd, it wouldn't be as bad, but working that overnight. Also, I'm readjusting to it, so that's probably why too. Okay. All right, me aside. I used the Whispers of Lord Ganesha in that video, and I haven't used it in a minute. The Outlaw. I saw the Hanged Man when I was shuffling the Dolly Tarot. The Outlaw. Water. Modernly, Neptune, Pisces. We got Jupiter and we got Neptune. And the Wheel of Life and the Outlaw. Cool. I'm going to put this back though. Yes, I'm putting it back. Okay. All right, let's cut it there. Put this here, move this over here. This video is not sponsored. I do not own the rights to that jingle. I don't want Nintendo coming for me because you know. Okay, so I'm gonna pull from the top of the Dolly, from the bottom of the SKT, before and after El Mago, the Magician. We have Justice, Death, and the Four of Wands as the top three. Repeat offenders in this deck. This is giving me rites of passage. 8 and 13, 3 after the 5, 3 after the 10. And then there's a Four of Wands here. Now, in the Four of Wands, I don't know if this is a book or if this is a musical score, but it's giving me book energy. Kirsty, good afternoon, evening, good evening. How are you? How art thou? So yeah, Justice, Death, and this Four of Wands is giving me rites of passage. It's giving me initiations. It's given me expanding horizons by overcoming challenges in life that reveal more of ourselves to us, that reveal more of the world that we live in, all that kind of stuff. That's the energy that she's giving. And then there's a Hanged Man right after that Four of Wands. Death, the Four of Wands, and the Hanged Man. El Colgado. We have our magician. Before the magician is El Ermitaño. El Ermitaño, the hermits. The hermit, the magician, and then some face down card. Thou art tickety boo. No problem. Thank you. Oh, the hermit. The Hermit and the Magician. The Queen of Swords is before the Hermit. Oh my gosh, the Queen of Swords. That was the lady who came out. She was our significator last time because the sword was being hidden. And so It was like the Page of Cups for the first, the Page of Wands for the second. No, the Page of Cups for the first, the Page of Wands for the fourth. The sword being hidden was the second. And so for the third cardinal air, it was like process of elimination. It feels like the hermit is like collecting the tools. This magician looks a little confused and kind of scared. You're putting an Arcaf resident? What? Oh my gosh. I was looking at all like the water droplets. I was like, is this the world of water? Doesn't he look a little Noah-esque? Giving me, was it the wife of Bath in the Canterbury Tales? But, you know, El Diablo and the Queen of Swords, bottom of the deck, and the most recently revealed card. The next card after the face down card is Los Enamorados, the lovers. Oof, not the lovers and the devil again. So like the lover or the devil's at the bottom, the lovers was like right here. It's next after. Cool. Because that's something that's been coming up. Ba, 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 ba. What, you were just thinking about the wife of Bath? Or the Canterbury Tales? Okay. Oh no, the Dynasty Ten of Pentacles flipped over. The Ten of Pentacles came after the Devil. When I was, no, the Ten of Pentacles was last, wasn't it? It was after the Devil, because it was the Nine of Pentacles, the Empress, the Devil, the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Fool. When I pulled for me, but trying to take Patrick out as much as I can. And we'll cut it and boom. So pulling from the bottom, we're going to pull before and after the aces. I'm going to keep them in the order that they come out. Pulling before and after the aces, and then pulling before and after the pages. And we'll see if I have enough room for all of this. So the bottom three cards, the discerning one, the outlaw, and the seeker. After the seeker is the warrior, which is the sun. The discerning one and the outlaw is very interesting energy to me. The discerning one and the outlaw reads like seeing things that you aren't supposed to see, asking questions that you're not supposed to ask. It's like the illusion, the ruse, the charade is supposed to be good enough that you can comfortably suspend disbelief, right? It's like when we watch some media or when we read some books, if there's like things in the world that we're reading that are different than the world that we live in, there's the suspension of disbelief, right? If you're reading a book where the like magic and stuff, oh gosh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm getting Arethusa palm. Wasn't it the Temple of Arethusa? Oh, it's gross. I don't know what that is. It's just so weird feeling. I'm gonna put the deck down. Okay, I feel a little better. Yeah. Oof. I wonder if I pick it up if it'll come back. A little bit. Let's put it back down. So like when we're reading something where the world is so different, where like magic and dragons and elves and fairies are like everywhere, and we might live a more less fantastic life in order to like dive into the story and allow ourselves to be immersed in that world. We suspend our disbelief. We allow for it to be true, even though it's different. And so it feels like there are certain things that we were supposed to suspend our disbelief about or around, but the discerning one is like asking questions that they shouldn't be asking. And it's interesting because there was also the energy of what initiations with justice, death, and this Four of Wands, uncovering more and more and more knowledge. So maybe it's like after a few cycles, maybe it's like connected. There's a part where it's like it doesn't make sense. So you ask questions and then you learn. And then the more that you learn, the less other things make sense. But with this being the discerning one, instead of it being like the observant one or the knowledgeable one, to me, it's reading a little bit more like discernment, like spiritually rooted discernment, rather than logical discernment, if that makes sense. It's like something about this doesn't sit right with my spirit. Something about my knowing, like this doesn't resonate with what I know to be true on a soul level. Rather than like, you know, I went to school and I know that 2 + 2 = 4. So there's no way you can convince me that 2 + 2 is 29,539,265,021. Now, what's interesting is I already put the third card back at the bottom of the deck. What am I doing? There is this person in the background. Oh, I can't remember who it was giving me. But there's the character in the background, and then there's like the shadow of the dragon, or there's like a dragon coming out of the mist behind that person. And we're entering the year of the dragon. Oh, there are little suns on these ones. Cool. That's funny. See, look, and then there's that's the Celtic knot thingy from the Ivory Shield. Anyway. But this almost goes beyond, because the outlaw has given me vision. There's a vision that sees beyond delusion. And I don't even know. Oh, no, you're fine. I don't even know. Because there's a part of this that almost seems effortless. To the point where it's like, let's say that someone casts an illusion to make, hey Holly, how you doing today? There's someone, like there's a path, but like there's a cave, right? There's a cave, but someone casts an illusion to make the cave look like part of the mountain. So nobody ever goes in the cave because they don't see it as an entryway. They see it as a sheer wall. But there's almost a part of this that like effortlessly sees through illusion. So that like this outlaw doesn't even see the wall, or this outlaw doesn't have to cast illusion lifting spell or whatever. It's just like they don't see it. So they naturally just like go in and out. And then maybe one day someone comes by and they're like, whoa, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be able to see the cave. Like, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a giant hole in the side of this mountain. How would I not be able to like see it? You know what I mean? And they're like, well, like, don't you see the wall? And then the outlaw is like, are you messing with me? What wall? What are you talking about? Type of energy. And then we have the seeker, which is all about initiations. There we go. I forgot the word. And maybe this is like, here's this hall of whatever, and for those without whatever this site is that can't see through illusion, this would just be like a wall, right? Oh, and then if you look at the background in the warrior, it's like if you go far enough into this pathway, you'll reach this fire, and then you'll reach the person that like guards the fire. Almost giving me Phanuel, Angel of Truth energy. Yes, she's giving me Phanuel, Angel of Truth, and I have the book right here. I can show you, and I can read it to you. And I will do both. So here's Phanuel, Angel of Truth. Hold on, let me try to find it. It's snowing and blowing. Oof. We had a little bit of snow. When I came back from the UK, it was actually like snowing here. Or like it had snowed before. It was snowing the other day. They were like huge flakes, but they didn't stick. So it wasn't cold enough for them to stick. I remember when that angel used to come out all the time. Oh. That's so gross. It just feels, I don't know why my like hand does, and it's only my left hand. Oh, it's not leaving. It feels weird. I don't know. Phanuel, Angel of Truth. That is Sahakiel, Angel of the Sky. Where's Phanuel? Must be over here. Phanuel, Angel of Truth. Phanuel will wait for your arrival. It was here long before you arrived, standing at the threshold of the throne room. You may not have borne witness. Its sound may have escaped you, but Phanuel has waited there for you, eager to wrap you in a cloak of truth. Reality is ever present. It is a simple matter to find it. It is another, much more difficult task to understand that its truth can be different from capital T truth. Hold the torch high. See what stands before you for what it is. Signs are wine, a torch, and a bleeding eye. Qual, able to see through the illusion of whatever. Did it say a torch? I mean, that's more like a brazier than a torch, but oh. Found in a torch, or one of the signs is a torch, and then we have that. Kind of like lanterns, torches. Okay, fine. Maybe it's a little bit of a stretch. Is this somebody who's like shook? Maybe this is, I feel like this is like not, I feel like again, this may not necessarily be what I intended it to be, but that's fine. Especially for someone who, maybe if I do that, it'll stop. Oh. Okay, maybe not. maybe not that. This helps. I'll just rub my hands together. I won't smack them. Oh, okay. Anyway, so here. Similar energy to this magician. It's like the magician is in the innermost chamber because you see like the fires around him. Cool. Giving me like sacred space energy, giving me like internal sacred space energy, or I guess it could be external. I don't know. Oh, and then the discerning one is Mars and Aries. It's the two of scepters. It's the element of fire. We see the double Vajras. Cool. And then guess what? Guess what card is behind the warrior? It's the Scarlet Shield. It's our Queen of Swords. It's this person. Cool. Love it. Love it. What? Oh. And then the hallowed flame. Oh. Okay, I don't think we needed this. Oh, the torch. I'm looking at the hallowed flame like, okay, like we already in the warrior, we already have a person guarding a fire in the innermost sanctum. So like I don't know why we necessarily needed another representation of someone standing guard like before a fire. Under this was the sacred flame, but this is the torch. So I was like, well, this is a brazier. Technically, it's not a torch. Well, we see this energy depicted where it is a torch. But this torch would be something that you use to take the fire out of the temple. Right? Cool. That's a whole bunch of cards. Let's go. I don't have enough room for all this. So I guess we're going to lay this like this. I don't know. Also, we did have the Four of Wands. The wands are coming through today. Yeah, we can do that. That works. I'm grateful to have more space than I had before, but I might need even more space. You know what I mean? But also, there was the energy of initiations. And that's what this is. Very much so giving with the seeker. But there's just something about this that feels so unwitting, if that makes sense. Ooh. And you can leave this boy out of the country, please. I love modern comforts, you know. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, we are looking for the heralds. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Hello. That's my ace. This is my first ace. I need this. This is supposed to go on the table. So the Scarlet Shield, the Hallowed Flame, the Kindred. That's why I see this again, because now we get to keep it as a part of the reading. So now the Queen of Swords has gone from before of the Hermit to like on the table. And then I can move these over. Cool. Love it. What's interesting, well, maybe it's not interesting. Where's my phone? I gotta pull up my cheat sheet. Patrick, what is this? I don't know. Patrick never knows. Patrick rarely knows. Also, this is not a great picture at all. We were coming home today. This is such a terrible picture. Such a terrible picture. Ew, this thing, it looks like it has the face of a bear and the body of a chihuahua. This ain't. One second. Uh, so this might be a coyote. That is wild. So we were on our way home today, and my mom was like, "Is that a fox or is it a dog?" We were like, so she was like, "Is that a fox or is it a dog?" Okay, well, coyote's legs are a little slimmer, look like than these. And I don't have a great. I should have used her phone, but it was like it was three of them out in the field. 1 second. So yeah, we saw these out in that field, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then like nobody was behind us. So I was like, stop so I can take a picture. And one of them was like looking at us like, what are you doing? You acting suspicious. I don't know. Anyway, it was some animal. Oh, there you go. These are my rose tinted glasses. Speaking of Jupiter, yeah, see, that's what I was looking at. Because when I looked at the tail, I was like, that's looking pretty bushy. But the legs, and at least in this picture, the legs of this coyote look like thin. And they did look bigger than foxes. Wow. Okay, all right. I saw some three coyotes. Let's see what that means. And they are common. Well, they're found throughout Illinois. It's also common to see coyotes out during the day. So yeah, I guess they're out prowling the empty fields for who knows what. So my mom said it was three of them, but I only saw two. Oh, that's not what. See, this is not. Anyway, it's fine. Good fortune and changes in your life. I will take it. Confirmation that you're on the right track. Sure. Thanks. We'll take that one because I guess I also have. I could put it's fine. Anyway, anyway, anyway. Oh, ugh, ugh, ugh. Sorry, I'm just like. So this is our first ace. Oh, I picked this up so I could look at my cheat sheet. Wow. There you go. Didn't expect to see some coyotes, but that's fine. They're common, and it's not like I would have ever been out here to be near one before. But they were looking at us like, "What are y'all doing?" Or that one was looking at us like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just trying to take a picture." Oof. So here we go. Here's my little handy dandy cheat sheet. So the hallowed flame is here because this is where fire is transcendent, right? Ooh, y'all do not need to see all that, even though it ain't nothing down there. What is this? Oh. Neither one of these. So this is where we're at, right? So when I did this, I did it as like the transcendent of one is the soul for the next one, right? So those are the two different permutations of like green first and no red, green, yellow, blue, and then green, blue, yellow. Um, and in neither one of these, we get cardinal air. So it's fine. I'm going to pull all the cards. We're going to keep going and pull all the cards and then try to make sense out of it. I wonder if that'll be a thing. So we have the healer, the bereaved, and the reaper. So like this is Isis. So we have the healer, Isis, and death. Isis resurrected Osiris. And then under that is the Nine of Swords, but it could have been like Isis going to like get Osiris, like, you are not, come back to the realm of the living, or whatever. All right, let's go. Ooh, this is a major energy. So justice, first and foremost. Justice and the Chancellor. Again, presenting both the sword and the scales. Unlike this justice card that hid the sword but presented the scales. She presents both. We have New World Order, the world, the sacred word, Ace of Swords, and the end apocalypse. So judgment. The world and judgment sits before and after the tool of the sword. And after that is the Archangel of Healing, King of Cups. So for the world where, 222. 222. Where Ace is transcendent, no. Because then we would be down here and fixed water would be here, right? Because it's soul, body, mind. And it's cardinal mutable fixed. No. It's cardinal fixed mutable, because it's Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Cardinal fixed mutable is how the zodiac wheel goes. And so I guess it technically didn't come out, but it came out after Apocalypse. But after the Archangel of Healing is the the Shining Waters. So neither one of these work. Because where air is transcendent, it's a water soul regardless. Our magician has been places that our zodiac wheel doesn't even account for. The zodiac wheel as it is, especially when I was just like, oh, we'll look at whatever. It's not. Ooh, here's our keeper. Boom, boom, boom. There she is. Labat. We have the keeper, the Holy Grail, Ace of Cups, and the burdened one, Ten of Wands. Now, this is mutable fire, but that's not because I could look at this as cardinal water. She's not my significator, so the keeper and the burdened one. Is the wheel of life here? No, it's not. No, it isn't. Before the keeper was the quester, Six of Swords. It's actually the chariot, the empress. So it's the empress, the chariot, and the quester. I took these two because they're both like energies of movement, right? But the quester is led. Even though there's only one person in this particular card, and we do see like another dragon on her or on their cloak. Maybe a dragon. Is it a serpent? Is it a dragon? Who knows? Usually it's a card of being led because I don't know. Does anybody read the Six of Swords as like us being the fairy person? Or is the Six of Swords always like you take the position of the people who are fleeing? Like you're in the boat and you're just trusting that the ferryman is going to take you where you need to go. But it's moving towards the high priestess. And under the high priestess is the archangel of mysteries. But see that? The Merkaba. And then that's on her book. Also, that was the eye of the outlaw. Cool. Let's keep going. Have I missed all the pages? I guess I'm not that deep. I'm going to keep going. Oh, well, this is interesting. Our first page comes in between the title card and the Five of Pentacles, the Vagabond, and the title card. It's interesting because the first page is the Page of Wands. The first ace was the Ace of Wands. And then we have the Shining Flame and the Pugilist, Mutable Fire, and Moon in Sagittarius. Mutable Fire, it wouldn't be this one, but it would be the next one. Mutable Fire would be up here. Up here is where, again, we're up here because the Ace of Fire, non-modal fire, is this one. But this is our Knight of Wands. No, that's our Queen of Wands. Take it back. Sorry. None of these follow the zodiac wheel. I was hoping for at least one. Okay, so then we have the politic. Now we're mixing it up. The politic, Three of Wands, with the Herald of the Waters, Page of Cups, and the Archangel Commander, which is the King of Swords energy. Now, King of Swords would be Knight. No, that would be Body of Air. I don't know if this one's going to work either. So where water is transcendent. Oh, it actually does. No, hold up, wait. Cardinal, fixed, mutable. It doesn't. Boo. But it works for this alternate one. Because there is the, oh, now a little dirty. It's fine. It's fine. Here is that's the King of Swords. So this is how our zodiac runs: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. But this one, we do actually at least get one that's slightly off. And that'll give us the fixed air, where water is transcendent. So we have the grotesque and the force. Outside of that, King of Wands energy, because Leo. Oof, almost passed her up. Next is the Herald of the Winds. Before her was the Eminence, Nine of Pentacles. After her is the Sharpshooter, Eight of Wands, Eight of Scepters. So they traded places by Ace. First is fire, then air, then water. But by Page, first is fire, then water, then air. So Earth is going to be the last for both of these. If I didn't already pass them, because now I am slightly concerned. Okay. Oh, we get our Magician, the Magus, the Magician. I'm going to have to move these down a little bit. There we go. Cool. I have enough room. The Bread of Life and the Ivory Shield. I don't think that's going to be, I don't think she's going to work either. So where Earth is transcendent, no, because that would be the Queen of Swords. So here Earth is transcendent. This is mutable water, that's fixed water. We have cardinal water here. So we have another ace that doesn't follow our zodiac wheel. For employee. Is that a thing? I mean, I know it's a thing, but like, I don't even know if I want heated floors now. Like a heated driveway, so that it ain't slick. And then the Herald of the Earth. So we have the Seven of Cups, the Corruptor, the Herald of the Earth, which is our Page of Wands, or Page of Pentacles, sorry, and then the Gardener. The Gardener has been coming out a lot lately, and I honestly don't know if I've been giving it the full attention that it deserves. But it's here again. And then before the before is the Hierophant. After the after is the Angel. And then there's only two cards left. The Conservator. So I guess after this, there's three cards. The Angel, the Conservator, and the Wheel of Life. There's our Wheel of Fortune. That this burdened one, the one that came after the Holy Grail. It's different, but similar. What do I do with all this? Who knows? It feels like this might be an angel that protects the balance. The angel, the conservator, the protector, and the will of life. This is all the mutable signs in this deck. And mutable is the mind. So this is representative of the mind in all universes. Is the Chariot here? The Chariot would be the soul. The world is here. The world is the body in every universe because it's the four fixed signs. The Chariot, it was the Six of Swords and then the Chariot, but it didn't come out, I don't think. That would be the soul because the soul is cardinal. Imagine if the soul wasn't cardinal. Maybe that was the debate. That was the debate in Jujutsu Kaisen. Does the soul come before the body or does the body come before the soul? Or like which drives the vehicle? All right, Kirsty. I don't have anything to drink today. I didn't fill up my water last night. I could drink iced coffee. I didn't have enough apple juice. There's still a face down card after the Magician. This is interesting. What's interesting about this is that none of these give us, there's a lot of cards in the deck, and we didn't have to get any court cards. In fact, we have the ones that officially came out. We have Cardinal Air, Fixed Air, and Cardinal Water. But when we've seen court cards outside, either before the before or after the after, oh, it's like I filter my water, and so I like to let it sit for like a while before I drink it. And I just filled it up before I went live. But I guess once it passes through the filter, it's not going to keep being filtered because it already passed through the filter. So technically, it would be no different. I just like personally feel better when it sits for a while, just for peace of mind. If I get thirsty, if I need it, I kind of need it. Maybe I should go. What's interesting is, though, that we start with fire regardless, and we end with earth regardless. What makes this hermit all the more interesting is, though, because none of these follow our zodiac wheel. That's what I was saying. Like, we don't, like, nothing had to come out. There are enough cards that we would, like, we didn't have to see any court cards, right? But for all of the court cards that came out around the corresponding transcendent element, none of them matched our zodiac wheel. So none of this is necessarily like super immediately accessible. And maybe that's why, like, maybe that's why the energy of the suspension of disbelief was like so heavy up here. Right. And it was like the discerning one sees through something that they're not supposed to be able to see through. But because of the outlaw, they do it naturally. And I feel like that ties into, again, like this not following our zodiac wheel. So is it giving the matrix? Kinda. Like, but it's a matrix that's constructed in like what the matrix would be constructed in that way. But it's like it's a matrix that's constructed in such a way that you wouldn't be able to break it from inside the matrix because all of the associations are wrong. But again, that's why this discernment came, like this is a spiritual discernment rather than a logical one. This discernment isn't like I did this research and I read that book and I went to this training, whatever, and I attended this seminar and I had that certification. And it's these things that tell me that this is illogical. This discernment, it just comes from within. It's just like there's a deeply internal knowing, deeply internal motivating, whatever that's like it rearranges the zodiac wheel. I would be super, super curious to see if this, like, if there's still a pattern that this would fall into, right? Like, if it's like mutable, fixed cardinal, and then like air, fire, earth, water, instead of cardinal, mutable, fixed. Well, cardinal, mutable, fixed, cardinal, fixed, mutable, meaning cardinal, fixed, mutable. So that'll be fixed, mutable, cardinal. So how do I jumble that up? If it was like mutable, but mutable fixed, I don't know. If we jumble up the modalities and the elements, it would be interesting to see if this all like conforms to one. Can we see really quick? Sure, why not? We can try. Oof. You can dance if you want to. Do 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 do. You can dance. You can dance. Sorry. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have squares. Delete. I can draw like boxes, right? Can I do shapes? Transform, selection mode, layers. I can't do shapes. Where are my shapes? Darn it. It's fine. So this is the world of fire, water. Okay, I might have made these too big. Oop. Okay, so the boxes is where the element is transcendent. And then I'm going to put dots on these. I'm going to use paintbrush dots for the elements. Oh, blending brush, flat tip brush, clear brush. We'll do a water oil brush for the elements. And then I'll do the marker for the pages, aces, pages. I need to get my screen protector replaced. It's starting to pop. So in the box of fire, we have, how am I going to do this? I guess I'll do numbers. I'll do 1, 2, 3. No, I'll do the modality. C for cardinal, N for mutable, F for fixed. So in the fire box, we have cardinal air. So that would be a yellow C. And then for earth, we have cardinal water. So that would be a blue C here. For the, okay. For the pages, we have fixed air in the space of water. And that's it. Because I didn't keep track of anything else as I was going along. So I feel like I don't have enough. But I don't not have enough either. There's no air. Air is the only one that came out without thingy. The world, judgment, and then the Nine of Pentacles and the sharpshooter. Now the world is all the fixed signs. So that's just the body. So then that one would break it. Anyway, it's fine. What is he doing? Who knows? I don't even know. Is it time to reveal what's after the magician? Do we have any guesses? Is it major arcana? Is it minor arcana? Is it a court card? I would make a poll, but it's fine. Wait, can I do that on my phone? Maybe. Let's see. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe. Usually I pop up on my screen when I'm live. Hello? Hello? What's happening? Why can't I see me? There we go. Can I do it down here? No, because this is me chatting in my own. Oh, wait, is it up here? It would be super convenient if I could. But I guess, like, if you're live on a device, why would you need to, like, be able to do whatever things from another device? Because my keyboard is on the floor. And I don't have enough space for it. It's fine. Holly says court card. Patrick says, I don't know. I think it would be cool if it were a major, but I don't know. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with this. Why did I do this? And it's like there are many different iterations of this. This is just like one magician. But this is if I would have read it how I intended to read it, because the magician has the four aces. It's not just four elements. But again, it's interesting. Maybe it's like the high priestess or an iteration of the high priestess. So like Queen of Cups, Two of Swords, or the high priestess. Because this doesn't follow our world. Our zodiac wheel, none of this matches our zodiac wheel. The element of fire comes out in between a soul of air and the kindred. The kindred that came out. This is interesting because these two already came out together. It was the Scarlet Shield, the kindred, and the defector, the Eight of Cups. Those are the ones that jumped out the deck like, shh, we're not here. But I was like, what do you mean you're not here? Gotcha. Let's flip it over. Let's see. If I can get it. It is the Ace of Swords. I'll give it to you, Holly. The Ace of Swords, which is non-modal air. So it's every combination of iteration of a soul of fire, earth, or water, a body of fire, earth, or water, and a mind of fire, earth, or water. Or if we look at our thingy thing, it would be transcendent air, excuse me, a soul of water, a body of fire, a mind of earth. Where Cancer is cardinal, Leo is fixed, and Virgo is mutable. It would be this one. This is transcendent air, which is the same as justice, because justice hides the sword, right? That's what made this feel like it was where air was transcendent, because air is like pulled off the table. This is air as a function. Oh, and then the scales. This is air as a function of fire, earth, and water. So at least it's consistent in that regard. And what does that mean then? Excuse me. Speaking of cosmic letter opener, I do like the Ace of Swords as truth. When I was like, oh, this is the energy of Phanuel, Angel of Truth. Because we have the discerning one in the outlaw. We have the air of the fool and the seeker, also in the keeper. If we look at our Ace of Swords, that was in between. I'll give it to both of us. No, because I said, did I say major or did I say just like high priestess energy? Because our Ace of Swords down here came out in between two majors. Judgment in the World, New World Order, and Apocalypse. That could be a body of fire, because we have the element of fire and then the fixed modality of the world. A body of fire would be water. If we applied that reasoning, this is the only one that would fit. It would be this, right? Because it's cardinal, fixed, mutable. Fixed fire, we have fixed modality in the world. And then we have the element of fire in Apocalypse. But it's major arcana. and it's all the bodies, emphasizing the fire body. But I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to do with this now. I don't know. This is as far as my curiosity took me, you know. So if we look at this as just aces, for this magician in particular, around the ace of fire, that we would look at as like the soul. There's the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups. Now, the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups could be, that would be like logic. If I look at air as like logic and reasoning, it would be logic and reasoning that work together with the soul. Or a logic and reasoning held in the same regard as the soul. Because that's like the Three of Cups. All things sort of treated as equals. They're treated as equals, but their differences are celebrated in the Three of Cups. Then if we look at air, which is the mind, it's New World Order and judgment, which makes sense. If we look at air as the mind and speech, like the spoken word, the thought, both thought and externalized, both internalized and externalized thought, it has the power to shape and mold the world. New world order and apocalypse. Life and death is in the power of the tongue and in the power of the mind. The universe is mind. The world is mental. We have the body. If we look at water, which is primordial, or that which comes before, it's before the tree of Prima. Actually, let me see. I wonder what this says about water. I'm just curious. I'm interested. I never had that thought before. But we'll see. I don't even know what water is. If sulfur is fire, oh, water is water. Sulfur was number 29. Sulfurous. Here's the Sal Sapiente wise salt. So that should be, nope. Aurum gold, argentum silver, quicksilver, iron, lead. Where's water? I'll go to the table of contents. Where's my table of contents? Where's the table of contents, Kim? Ooh, this book is all creasy. This book, creasy. This book is creasy. Here we go. The 4 seasons, the 22 materials, the 11 cosmic forces. I guess it's a material. Lead, tin, iron, copper, quicksilver, silver, gold, antimony, white salt, sulfur, glass, sugar, smoke, ash, vinegar, oil of vitriol, breath, blood, resin, fog, virgin's milk, sap of the moon plant. The void, the uncreated, the new pearl, the great serpent, sparks of light. I'm gonna really have to go through these to see which one is water. Like the wise salt is obviously salt. Would fog or breath? No, breath is like the spirit. Would fog be air? Nebula? 39? She did not make this easy. Let's go to 29. The 3 primes along with salt and mercury. Oh, quicksilver, mercury. Duh. Mercury is the mind. That's 135. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. Mercury. Does this mention the Tria Prima? No, it does not. Does it mention part of liquid, part metal, quicksilver, also known as mercury, is a mesmerizing material. Its gift is to slip between worlds, cannot be pinned down or easily defined. Mercury came to symbolize the god Hermes and the great hermetic secrets of alchemy, always sliding away into secrecy just beyond the alchemist's grasp. It is said Mercury represents the transition between the physical and the unseen worlds, between life and death, between science and the esoteric, as the metal of sacred thresholds. Shamanic practitioners of every tradition must acquire the ability to stand at the doorway between worlds. This is no small feat. The Mercury card indicates the querent has a particular gift for such a task. This is the work of the shaman, teacher, sage, artist, and alchemist. This does not mention Mercury as the soul. So it looks like sulfurous. Let's look at why salt. Sulfurous may be the only one that, the first of what is known as the alchemy, in alchemy, as the tria prima. 3 primes, along with salt and mercury, it makes up a threefold phenomenon that symbolizes the uniting of soul, body, and mind. This is not, welcome back. Water is wet. Is water wet? Or is it not wet? There was a whole thing. It's like, if something is like coated in water, or if water comes in contact with something, then it becomes wet. But is water itself wet? Some would say yes, duh. Some would say no. Because I don't know. Let's look at why salt. Wisdom, grit, preservation, sacred ingredient of preservation. Salt retains, preserves, and absorbs. Wow, Kim. Wow, Kim. Well, I guess that was the point of doing this video, right? Is water cold or what? Well, you can have hot water. So I can answer that one. Sometimes it is cold. Sometimes it is steaming hot. Sometimes it's so hot it's air. Sometimes it's so cold it's solid. But most of the time we think of it as a liquid. Oh, look at this. So I'm looking for water in the book, and then the keeper is here. Spirit and petition of spirit. What is water? It's a secret that is kept by the keeper. And then the burdened one. The truth of water is it's a secret that weighs very, very, very heavily on the mind, the body, and the soul. That makes sense. It's a secret that weighs heavily on the fire, the earth, and the air. What? Wait. And then there's the new pearl. Or some transparent orb. There was a card that I wanted to look at in the Book of Maps to see if she gave any kind of insight. Oh, this is interesting. So we have the Hermit and the Magician and the Dolly, but we have the Magus and the Bread of Life down here. I honestly don't know where I thought this was going to go. So the aces are the aces. I chose the pages because they are our handle on this. So somehow the pages are supposed to help me get from where we are to the ace. My brain was just like, it was processing, crashed. And then it started processing again. Um, and we did have all of the mutable signs. Mutable is the mind. This was after the after. We don't have, I'm just curious. I'm going to look before and after the chariot. So the mind is in between the conservator and the gardener. The Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, which is an 11 of Pentacles. But I'm just curious because the chariot isn't here, and the chariot would be like the soul of all souls, like the body of all bodies. Oh, it was the Six of Swords. So we did see it. I just didn't pull it. Or it did position itself in a way that was like, hey, I'm here. So in this tetrad, I guess, it was the priestess and the archangel of mysteries after whatever, but it was the quester and the chariot before. It was the quester, the chariot, and the empress. And then there's our universal Mercury, which is the mind. I honestly don't know. It's fine. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to get this far. For what? For why? For who? For when? Ba-da-da-ba-da. I'm going to my PDF reader. Wow, good thing I made a shortcut somewhere. Oh, wow, where is it? Where's my shortcut? I made a shortcut. Oh my gosh. I don't see it. And like I said, I don't have my. Is it in the recently used? Oh, wait. I think I just saw the icon. I think I scrolled by it. Yep, there it is. Thank you. Okay. I need the Revelations edition. Do I not have it on my desktop? It might be on my laptop. I don't even know where this is. Oh, wait. I don't even know where this is. I don't even know where this is. I am not on my laptop. Okay. I can't remember if I downloaded it on my desktop or not. Maybe I didn't, because I think it came out. I think it came out after I had put my desktop away. So I think it's on my laptop. So I'm just going to roll over here. And I'm going to pick this up because I really want to. I really want to. Is it? Oh, wait. It might be on my iPad. It may be. Maybe. I think it is. Were you here, Holly, when I so my word for 2021 was indescribable. I watched back my end of 2022 video. And the word was indescribable, which kind of makes sense why I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, what was the word? Like, what was it? It was indescribable. Oof. Well, this is it. Yay! Okay. It is on my iPad, which is more convenient than this thing. Ooh. I still need to get this room together, but we'll see. I had a question the other day. Because we say that the only constant in the universe is change. But in some way, would it not at some point, at least would there have to be a brief moment? Because if change is the only constant, in order for change to change, something would have to be stable. Something would have to remain what it is. Or is that like when the universe ends? Well, maybe when it ends, when the entire universe ceases to exist, when change has been everything but consistency, when there is nothing, then change will change into constancy. Cool, love it. I got my book of maps. Let's look at this 10 of wands. Or yeah, let's look at the 10 of wands because I want to see if she mentions oh, look, she came out. I didn't even notice that. The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups. She was the one with the Celtic knot on her shield, right? And then when the warrior came out, the sun came out, I was like, this triquetra reminds me of her shield. And then on the sharpshooter, we have Athena with the shield of Medusa. And it's like, instead of it being this riddly energy, it has a face. It's got a face in the shield of Medusa. So when in the hands of the divine, there's a face or something. I don't know. There's the nausea. Cue the nausea. I like to explore. I like to satisfy my curiosity sometimes. I like to be like, let's just see where this goes. And today I have met my match. I have been utterly destroyed and defeated. Oh, I didn't even catch that. Card description: along the bottom third of the image, two human hands grasp onto two scepters. Oh my gosh, I didn't get that either. So, okay. Oh my gosh, did anybody see Reem's Taurus reading? And how the video paused when she was like that for like more than half a minute? Why am I mentioning this? Oh, here we go. I was like, where are the hands? They're open in this. Oh, no, they're not because of that. And the seeker, you got prayer hands. And then these are like the hands of the divine. And so, because we have the burdened one. And I was like, it's burdened by the secret kept, the secret of the body, mind, and soul. Well, here's so the seeker finds whatever they're looking for, and then the burden or the weight of that truth is placed upon them. And again, this is around the water. Oh, the water. I don't know if you can see it as much, but this temple path is on the water. Like you can see the water here outside of the path. Cool. And then also, the last time I read this, it was Temperance that had the two hands. It was so in Temperance, there was the whatever that, like, Temperance, the angel wasn't pouring the water. It's literally right here. It's literally at the bottom of the deck because the hands are down here, but the water is pouring itself up here. There were the two hands and the two of cups. And I think there were two hands somewhere else. Oh. And then there's the other pair of hands up here. Yes. So this death card is giving me liminal space. I'm going to have to move these over here so I can actually access these now. Oops. Put these like this. This is giving me liminal space. And it's giving me liminal space again because none of this conforms to, unless we, and I guess, like I said, I intentionally used the court cards and the aces as like mutable, fixed, and their modality and element. So I could like demystify again the New World Order and Apocalypse that came out before and after the Ace of Swords to be like, oh, that's the fixed fire. So in the world where Libra is transcendent air and it's Cancer, Cardinal Water, Leo, fixed fire, Virgo, mutable, Earth, like that fits if I demystified the majors. But that would be the only one. And we have to demystify the incomprehensible in order to get it to fit. So that's again why this is giving me like liminal space. And it's because like it's so empty. Oh my gosh, that's actually kind of interesting. And again, this is, I saw a bird. I was on Google Maps yesterday with my mom. And we saw a bird that was just like, she was like, it doesn't even look real because of the way it was captured in the image. But anyway, oh my gosh, this is so like symbolic. This is falling into this liminal space where it's like things don't work the same way that they do here. And again, this is giving me like suspension of disbelief, but it's like usually from our perspective, when we suspend our disbelief, we leave fact and we enter a world of fiction. But this would be us, because again, the discerning one and the outlaw, this would be us realizing that our world is a world of fiction, and then we see into the world of fact. And in this world of fact, the elements and the zodiac wheel and modality works completely different. In this world, it may actually be possible that they are all independent. Like instead of a tria prima, it's a quadra prima or whatever. 4 primes instead of 3, where one isn't a function of the other 3. Well, I don't know if I'd say trailblazing, Holly, but the 6 of Swords did come out with the High Priestess. I'm kidding. Let me stop. Oh, snap. Okay. This in the Lovers is important because it is specifically the SKT, and I mentioned the dynasty. Where's the dynasty? Here it is. Maybe I didn't mention the dynasty. Did I mention the dynasty? No, I think I just looked at it. Which is interesting because it's like, here was the story of like Isis resurrecting Osiris, or the energy of Isis resurrecting Osiris, the healer, the bereaved, and death. And then after that, is like the Chancellor and the Archangel of Healing that would have come out before and after of the Ace of Wands, I'm sure. But between that is the Demiurge. And I didn't mention the Demiurge. Between that is the Demiurge. Maybe I did mention it. And the Dynasty. The Demon, the Demiurge, the Demon, the Dynasty, and the Demiurge. Where these three cards in between those. These 3Ds. Oh, this is the Demon, the Demiurge, and the Dynasty being the 3D. Isn't that kind of like ironic in a completely non-ironic way? Isn't she giving like Archon energy? Anyway, it's fine. This in the Kabbalah Tree of Life Void, we see life blossom and bloom. And that's why I'm like, oh, it's the lovers. Because look at those flowers. Qua! Whatever that means, who knows? Oh, yeah. Okay. I literally read the first sentence and I was like, the hands. I forgot the hands. 2 human hands grasp onto 2 scepters, 8 more scepters with 4 crossing 4 form an X balanced on top of the 2, which the struggling hands must have the strength to sustain. And strength did come out at some point. It was the force. Strength is the force. Where was it? Maybe I can remember. The force. The grotesque and the force, the pugilist, the shining flame. This was the Sagittarius. That was before and after. I don't remember if it was the Ace of Swords or not, or if it was the Ace of Cups, or if it was the Knight of. It was before and after the Herald of the Flame. I remember because it went Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. Before and after the Herald of the Flame. Before and after the after were these 2. But after the pugilist was the grotesque and strength. Question mark? I remember I mentioned these 2 because strength was there. Or maybe I just mentioned it when I passed the strength card. I wish I had looked at this when it came out. That puts us up here. So for some reason, in the grotesque, we looked at this. This was one of the other ones that fit. Fixed fire. This is the one that I had to force to fit. In transcendent air, we have fixed fire, fixed world, fire of the apocalypse, of judgment. Leo is also fixed fire. So again, demystifying the major. Leo rules the force. We have these 2 cups here. And because they're situated like that, it made me think of transcendent air. Let me put this down. Ooh, hold on. I'm mixing up the order. Because you see where air is transcendent, how I have the 2 water dots like that, it made me think of the 2 of cups that are still standing. And then that was the fixed fire that we had on the table. And then we also have Leo here. So in an ace way, this is the closest. Maybe it's not a completely bad approximation. Maybe it's not so far off the mark that it's completely irrelevant, even though, again, we have to demystify majors to do it. Oh, snap. Because then we see the sun peeking up in this force card. And maybe it's this warrior that's like, boop. Like, hold up. Because again, with the outlaw, it did place us in the vicinity of this sacred whatever. And the further into this sacred temple you get, eventually you reach the fire of truth. But the grotesque is very. Oh, and I guess it's no surprise that this would be on water. Anyway, that was strength. I don't even remember why I went looking for strength. Oh, because it said you had to have the strength to hold the 2 rods or whatever. What am I? It's fine. Struggling hands must have the strength to sustain. Also, so it's the 2 of Wands. Did I mention it? The discernment. And it's another one that makes sense. And the secret, or the weight of the secret of the body mind around this Ace of Cups, the 2 of Wands are here. Oh, we get both. Well, there's only one hand here, but we get both the 2 of Wands because the 2 hands are holding to the 2 of Wands. And then the double Vajras are in the X formation that these 8 wands are crossed in. And also, again, there's all the water. Oh, I didn't even catch that. And then we have the 8 wands down here. This card literally came out under this one. But elementally, like in the aces, this is with the Ace of Cups. In the pages, this is with the Page of Swords. And between the aces and the pages, the only order that switched is the cups and the swords. Ace of fire, ace of water, ace of water. Ace of fire, ace of air, ace of water, ace of earth. Page of fire, page of water, page of air, page of earth. So they cross. Oh my gosh, they cross. They form this crisscross between the water and the air. So it's air, water, and the aces, but it's water, air, and the pages. But anyway, with the discerning eye, because I talked about it like it was a cave, but instead of it being a cave, it's a pathway. Anybody else would walk past this. And it's strange because it's a pathway that leads nowhere. And then, oh my gosh, there's the Guardian. There's the Guardian right there. See the Guardian? That's the Guardian right there. It's the same energy, given very similar energy. Or it's like 2 different Guardians, like because there's a Guardian posted as you get closer and closer to the heart of the sanctum. But the non-discerning one would see nothing. But it's our outlaw in this same sort of rocky outcrop area between these 2 pillars of the outlaw, between these 2 wands in this very same space. The outlaw sees the path through the water. Like there's a path back here. It continues back here in that direction. The outlaw sees that path. And then as they walk that path, they encounter either the same Guardian or a different Guardian. I didn't even catch that. I was like, it's like there's a cave, but like there's a wall that the outlaw just doesn't see. The outlaw doesn't see a wall. So it's like, oh, here's a cave. And they walk in. So like the discerning one sees the path. They don't even see that there isn't a path there. And so they just take it. And maybe like, she's like, whoa, person, what are you doing here? No one's ever here. Like, get back. And you're like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, how did you find this place? And then the discerning one is like, I took the path. And they're like, you can see the path. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to miss this entire structure. You know what this is also on? And it's funny because I was feeling a high priestess energy. I was like, maybe this is like the 2 of swords. It was the Ace of Swords. So I wasn't completely far off. But in the 2 of swords, you actually see in the distance, it's almost giving me this energy. You see like this entire like building out floating in this island past the, look, 2 of wands, past this, maybe most people don't see it. And so they just go about their way. But like, here's the building in which all of this could potentially take place in. Where others see nothing, the discerning one sees the path and that building. The discerning one would see all of it. All right, how do I do that? There you go. There you go. Oh, and then look, we get something similar here in this tria prima, and then a mystery. You got the three elements, and then look, fire, air, earth, and then this mysterious, the eye of the divine in the middle. So anyway, it's like it's cohesive. Do I know what it means? Maybe not necessarily, but it is cohesive. Maybe that's why I was getting like Arethusa palm. I was like, anyway, it's fine. Arethusa, like being so, I went to Kew Gardens with Kirsty during the Diamond Jubilee, and we were looking for like the Temple of Arethusa, and I couldn't tell like we were where we were supposed to be according to the map, but it wasn't looking like it was the place. And like, I don't know, like my palm, it starts in the palm, but it's this tingle that like it runs in my arm, and it's so weird. It's a tingle that's like unlike anything else, and it's like so just unsettling feeling anyway. And then she started to feel it. I was like, ew. So here we go. Through the slats of the crisscross scepters is the image of Atlas, the Titan who led the war against Zeus and the Olympians, and after the Titan's defeat, was condemned by Zeus to carry the weight of the heavens upon his shoulders. Carrying the weight of the heavens. Yeah, we were meandering. Wow, not synchronicities back to years ago. I mean, that was what, 2022? Oh, I didn't even catch that either. I didn't catch that. I'm glad I ended up pulling this up because there are so many, like, I knew I wanted to pull up the entry for this card because I was missing something. There are braziers here. So these, you see these two braziers down here in the Ten of Wands. And then we have the brazier of the sun. They're like the same. And then again, we have, it's like 4 pillars though. No, it's 2 pillars. No, it's more than 2 pillars. There's a bunch of pillars, actually. Because I'm looking at these 2 on the outside. Oop, oop. Oh gosh, I ain't trying to break my iPad. I'm looking at these 2, but then you can actually see like there's another column, and then here's a bunch more columns. But that's where we started too. Around the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Fire was the torch that we took. From that inner sanctum of truth with us. And that's the beginning. Fire came out first. Oof. I feel like this is giving like the Fool's Journey like a whole new. And the Magician is the first one that the Fool encounters, right? But again, the Fool or the Seeker takes the fire of truth. They realize that the world that they live in isn't. There are certain things that aren't necessarily true. Because again, in all of this, reading the Magician that has access to the 4 elements in their non-modal state, just like prime elemental, including water, more than just a tria prima. Maybe that's also why the Magician is like, oop, like the look of surprise on their face. and almost worry. Like, what have I gotten myself into? Maybe it's like biting off more than you can chew. I could see how it's giving me whatever that card is in the mausolea. Oracle of Souls. Carry the weight of the heavens upon their shoulders. At the opposite end is the hands of spirit, one red, one blue, each bearing the sigillum Dei, or seal of God, sourced from the 13th century grimoire, the sworn book of Honorius, or Liber Juratus. Oh, John D. That's Russell's dude, right? John D's always talking about Russell. Russell frequently mentions John D. This is John D's sigil of God. That's what that is. On the hands, the divine hands up top. I feel like I've seen this. Why? I don't know. Here we go with the firmament again. Here, Atlas is holding up a schema of the celestial spheres that diagrams the 10 spheres in the firmament above Earth, attributed to Claudius Ptolemy in the 1st century AD, based on the cosmology proposed by Aristotle. The first is the sphere of the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, making up the sacred seven. Above the spheres of the sacred seven is the octava spera, or 8th sphere of the fixed stars, the 12 zodiac signs anchored at 4 corners by the fixed signs Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Anchored by Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, giving us the world energy up here again from this 10 of Wands. This 10 of Wands is kind of like more connected than I initially thought. Maybe, like, because again, there was something about it that was like, I need to look at the entry for this because I'm missing all of this. I'm trying to see the signs. Oh, there's octava spera. I see the zodiac wheel. Okay, so we're looking in here. Right in here. This is what we're talking about. So I'll start again. Above the spheres of the sacred seven, Atlas is holding up the schema of the celestial spheres that diagrams the 10 spheres of the firmament above Earth, according to Ptolemy. The first is the sphere of the moon. So maybe the closest one. Or is it? No, yeah, because that's the sun. Here is the octava spera right there. So first is the sphere of the moon, Mercury, Venus. Well, second is Mercury, third Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, making up the sacred seven. Above the spheres of the sacred seven is octava spera, or 8th sphere of the fixed stars, the 12 zodiac signs anchored at 4 corners. So there's the 12 zodiac signs. Wait, where is it? Here they are. Above the octava sphere. I saw Libra. See, look, there's Libra. Anchored by the 4 fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Here, the octava sphere is represented by 3 rings for the subdivision of cardinal, mutable, and fixed signs. Love it. I can't hold it up anymore. I mean, I could, but it's fine. There's our fixed signs. And we're talking about modalities. Cool. The 9th sphere is the primo mobile, or primo mobile, also prima mobile or prima movens, the first cause. In medieval astronomy, this was believed to be the origin point of matter. The sphere of first cause is the intelligent design that sets the spheres below it into motion. Oh, I could have just showed you this. Here's the less stylized version. Cool. I love Benabel. She's one of my faves. The notation crystalline spheres in the illustration is in reference to Aristotle's theory that each of these rings in the diagram were spheres that canopy over Earth, with Earth at the center, and these spheres were crystalline, comprised of a substance that enabled each sphere to interact and communicate with the other spheres. According to Aristotle's model, not counted in the 10 spheres is the material world of Earth, which itself consists of 3 elemental spheres, i.e., the tria prima, fire, water, and air. This says the tria prima is fire, water, and air, instead of fire, earth, and air. Who was that? Wait, what? Key 49? Key 50? Oh, from the Tarot Mantegna? Tarocchi Montana? 1465. Key 49 was Primo Mobile, prime movement. Key 50, Prima Causa, or Prima Causa, prime cause. Ptolemy, on the other hand, believed that what moved these spheres was mathematics and its engine. Okay, all right. Finally, the 10th sphere beyond Primo Mobile is Imperius, the Empyrean heaven. Here is the dwelling of pure light, the source of creation. This is the mind of God. The Greek etymological root of Imperius is Empiros, meaning of the fire. Of the fire. What? And we have the fire of truth with these braziers or whatever. Period. Okay. All right. This is a whole bunch of, a whole bunch of a whole bunch. Oh. Astrologically, this card connects to New World Order through Saturn. The Temple of the Cosmos. Oof. So in the distance, we see, is it on this card? I already put it down. Maybe not. Yeah, we do. I think it's this. This is what she's referring to. In the distance, we see a glimmer of another solar system. One of the inner rings features a more prominent star or planet, a parallel existence to human life on Earth in our own solar system. Along the bottom right corner of the illustration are 2 oxen pulling the wheel of life. So the entry mentioned a parallel existence to human life in our own solar system. And again, there is parallel energy all over this because the zodiac wheel doesn't follow the same order and how at least I'd follow this. I'm fallible, of course. And this is, whatever. But it doesn't match the cardinal fixed mutable of the fire, earth, air, water of our zodiac. Very nice. Cool. When the 10 of Scepters appears in your reading, you're feeling the weight of the universe on your shoulders, and you alone bear the responsibility of holding up the sky so that your loved ones may thrive. The appearance of Atlas in your reading is a divine expression of empathy. Through the burden one's connection to the world card from the major arcana, one message that comes through is the popular adage, with great power there must also come great responsibility. Since we are in the minors, the 10 of Scepters isn't considering the theme of great power, but rather is focused on the day-to-day toil of great responsibility. Atlas would never have been tasked to hold up the heavens if he did not first possess the superior strength to do so. Cool. There you go. Oh. Goodness, I don't know how to use my iPad anymore. I updated it and now I get all these multitasking features. Oh my gosh, thank you. She colored it and broke it down for us. Ooh, girl, what's that? I love how she did the Vitruvian Book of Maps. There you go. See now you can see the planets on the bottom, the sacred seven, and then you can see these words. And then yeah, there you go. Noises. Oh, and then we went into the Ten of Cups. Cool. Excuse me. What am I supposed to take away from this? I don't know. I mean, this is just curiosity. And then the Ace of Pentacles is the Magician and the Ivory Shield. Maybe this Magician, because of the Kitsune giving me trickster energy, the trickster of the Kitsune is giving me like almost like that Quicksilver Mercury, able to slip between worlds. Also, again, we have the 4 elements presented, but it's also like the 2 snakes that are wrapped around the Magician. It's given me the ability, again, to sort of cross over to where certain things may make more or less sense. Usually this is depicted as like 2 snakes, but I wonder if it's 1 snake that's just like different colors. I never noticed that, because the green snake is biting the tail or the head, because we don't see the other head, of the blue snake, navy snake, black snake, the other one. See? Oh, it focused. Thank you. Then we have the as above, so below. This is so giving me the quester. She's giving heavy quester energy. Where did it go? Where did it go? Excuse me. So you can actually see that it's 2 different snakes. It's 2 different snakes in strength, because you can see both of their heads. And the green bites the black bites the green. So they're like connected. You got a little bit of a cat dog situation almost. Hold up. It was the defector? The chariot. That's where it was. Oop, 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 oop. I'm messing it up. Don't let me mess up the water. It was with the chariots. The quester was with the chariots. She's giving me quester energy because of how the hand is positioned next to Mercury. What was the point of this? I mean, I feel like the point, I got it. I just don't know where to take this from here. Already, from the aces to how we interact with the aces, that's where I was going. From the aces to how we interact with the aces, we have the the wires of water and air crossed. Now, do I read this in the order that they came out, or do I read it as each separately? I'm just gonna break these off. Here's fire. Here is air. I'll put the water with water, put the air with air. And then the earth with earth. I wish I had another camera set up so y'all could just see the table. It's fine. So when it comes to fire, the ace of fire is between the sanctum of the valiant and the kindred. And honestly, it's almost reading like there's an ability of the truth to highlight and eliminate more truth. It's almost like the truth spreads. The truth has wings of its own, set it free. Was that it was one of the I Chings, I believe. And that's why it's like it's the kindred here. Now, for us, it's the Five of Pentacles in the title card. The truth is just something that it's almost like the truth is something that we are so far removed from. The truth is something that is so heavily guarded, monitored. The fabrication, the narrative is so elaborate that it's almost like when we see the truth, we wouldn't even recognize it. Like that's what this is giving me. Whatever the Queen of Swords and the kindred is around the Ace of Fire, around the Page of Fire, it's unrecognizable. I could pull a dolly. I'll pull a dolly. I'm gonna leave these here, up here, so I don't forget that they exist. Or so if I need to refer to them again, I can. For this title card, I'm gonna pull a dolly tarot card, and we're gonna see, because that's sort of what this deck is. What I guess are we? Oh. The Devil and the Page of Wands. Not the Page of Wands coming out to clarify the Page of Wands. Cool. That's just confirmation. The Devil and the Page of Wands. And then again, it was the Page of Wands, Herald in the Flame, and the title card. Oh my gosh, Eve. I know, like, you could be lurking. You could be listening while you work. There you go. But if you remember, Eve, that video that I sent you that sent me, not spiraling, but it was like a lot to watch right before I was going to bed. It's giving me this energy. This is giving me that energy of like, you don't even know. It's giving me that, like, you don't, like, if you really knew what you think you know, like, you don't even know. This is giving me you don't even know energy. And then this would also make sense. It makes so much sense. The water goddess has spoken. I was just feeling that. Maybe it was like 5 minutes ago. I was like, I should go get my water. All right, I'll be back. I will go and grab my water. Thank you, Holly, for the. Oh wait, I have a little bit of water in here. Hello. I had a gulp and a half. Ooh. Mm. Oof. Hopefully, I don't have to. Oops, excuse me. Run to the restroom. Or fire. Take it to the top. Cover your all 50,000 of your taste buds. Have y'all seen that video of the ice cream eating expert eating ice cream? Okay. It was pretty good. I drank some water yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh. At first, when the water first hit, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Okay. But yeah, it's giving me that energy. Um, which again, it aligns. Like there is a realm of higher truth that is different than the one that we live in. And what we think we know, we don't, we may not actually. Um, yeah, and that's as far as oh, what was it? Barbados. There you go. Barbados. It's giving me Barbados energy. So yeah, that's definitely, and again, that makes sense. I with that Barbados energy, I could be like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that the warrior would be so surprised and everybody else would be so surprised, and it's again, it's like holding the weight of the heavens. Wouldn't be surprised. It's truth beyond. It's not truth beyond a capacity of human reasoning, but this is impossible. Maybe that's why this hermit is here again, because and this hermit, like, there is no, like, this was giving me such water energy, and again, this fits in. Water, especially being the element of transcendence, as I've been reading it, and the tria prima of fire, earth, and air. Like this is in that watery realm, seeing like so like from outside of the universe, looking at it, observing it. And then this magician is like, what? What? TF? does anything even mean anymore? Like, woo! Goodness. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that we went all the way to Barbados. Um, but again, I guess I didn't necessarily expect to see it here either. But that's what that's given me. But the truth has wings. Um, and so then we move over to air. When we come to air, we have the world in judgment, apocalypse. And then we have the imminence and the sharpshooter. So around the ace of the world is, again, it's given me the universe is mental and the mind of the divine energy. But especially following off of the last one, um, because it feels like with the Page of Swords being the eminence and the sharpshooter, here it feels like our conception of the truth isn't necessarily too far off. But with the Ace of Swords, it's just like it's bigger, it's greater, it's grander than we could have imagined. Like, again, it's very similar in tonality. Um, but on one hand, it's like the truth extends a lot farther than we think. Like what we think, like when we think of the divine and when we think of the universe, again, like we're human, so it's not surprising, but it's like the truth of the divine is so much like what we know and what we believe of the divine is such an infinitesimally small piece of the truth of the divine on one hand, but on the other hand, it's like because that piece is so small, in some ways we might have it like not completely wrong, but kind of sort of. It's like if you think of any embodiment of the divine, think of any god, any deity, that god or deity would be like a body, but the mind of the divine, like it's still so far above that body. Like just like how our brains and our minds and our souls, like just like we navigate our bodies with uh, relative lack of conscious effort, I guess. It's like the same also applies. Like it's so, again, like with the Ace of Swords, it's so much higher. But you know, there are pieces and aspects of the divine that are close enough to interface and interact with us in our daily lives, our day-to-day lives. Um, and it's like, yeah, the divine is there, you know, of course. And it's almost like, you know, when you're young, when you think of your parents as like who you know them to be, it's like you would have never, when you're young enough, especially, you would never think that like your parents were ever babies or kids your age. You would never necessarily think, it depends on the parent too, of course. It depends on who your parent is and what your parent is like, who your parents are and what your parents are like. Um, it's like you would never think of them as like children. You would never think of them as like party animals, bold, rebellious. You would never think that they ever like felt how you feel or whatever. Again, when you're young enough. But when you get older, sometimes you get to see your parents in a light that almost like blows your mind, because it's like your parent had a life before they were your parent. And now this ain't necessarily like, what if God was down here doing lines just like I am? Type in is like, it's not that. It's just, it's that how like there was so much more to this person or this energy, this person that I've always seen in this one particular way type of energy. And it's just like how it like it blows your mind when you first start to learn that like your parents are people. Like they had lives before you and they may have lives outside of you. They could still have a life that you just don't know about. Um, and that like the multifacetedness of them. There was a whole galaxy on a cat's collar. It's been a while since I've seen Men in Black. I don't even know if I've seen it all the way through in one sitting. Like Men in Black is one of those movies that I know that I've watched, but I can't remember nearly anything about. We already know with water, we get the ace of water. It's the burden of the weight of the heavens. It's the truth of, and like the firmament, and we like, and again, because the firmament came up recently, and it's like the firmament separates the lower waters from the higher waters, and the firmament is heaven. So above heaven, there's like more water. There's like so much more above heaven. And it's again, it's the similar energy of like, because we can look at heaven as like there's the earth and then there's heaven. And when we leave earth, we go to heaven. Or when we're not in earth, we're in heaven or like hell. But hell is kind of like a lower firmament. Like earth is sandwiched between our lives, are sandwiched between these two. So it's like hell is kind of like heaven, but not, but kind of. It's almost like if we take the firmament of heaven and we stretch it out and we wrap it around. So there's like the upper firmament and then the lower firmament. And like this would be, I guess, hell down here. And this would be heaven up here, but it's all a part of the same firmament. Speaking of spheres, but it's like above that, above the firmament of heaven, there is more water. And again, that's this energy where it's like the truth of the divine is so much higher than we have the ability to comprehend. Um, and this is like because it's presented, it's like to be a magician, or however I'm reading, or however magician energy is coming through right now in terms of being like it's four aces. It's all of the elements working together separately as independent. It's not like, because if you think about if your body is achy and you're stressed, then emotionally, like you're gonna feel down, right? If your spirits are low in fire and you are overworked and like stressed, air, and the earth of your body is like tired emotionally, you're gonna feel that. And conversely, a whole bunch of other things are true. It's like our body is affected by the mental, emotional, and spiritual. And yeah, mental, emotional, spiritual. The mind is affected by the body, the spiritual, like they all affect each other. They're not independent in the way that we live our lives. And for the magician to truly have four aces, they kind of have to be. So that's what gives this a like we're already outside of our day-to-day life type energy. I didn't necessarily expect it to go this high, but again, she's giving like such Barbados. I didn't see it as Barbados until like the Devil in the Page of Wands came out to clarify the vagabond in the title card. Like it's a truth that is beyond, it's so far beyond our comprehension. And we have two cards of prophecy. There are four cards of prophecy. There's pyromancy, hydromancy, geomancy, and aeromancy. We have actually seen the card of aeromancy in the bereaved. That was literally here. Three of Swords. It's not necessarily depicted as heavily in the Three of Swords, but she does mention aeromancy in the threes. In hydromancy, we see these three divine feminines coming together to seek their own prophecy in these three cups. In pyromancy, in the politic, we see these three divine masculines come together, like three wise men that, oh, look, there's the fire. Well, this is a bonfire. So it's not necessarily like brazier energy, but it isn't necessarily not either. It's like minor brazier energy. But three wise men that come together and they each share like in a prophecy together. So like the three divine feminines each get their own. The three divine masculines all receive the same prophecy, but from different perspectives and from different viewpoints. Because like the three wise men who followed the star to baby Jesus, like they all came from different places, right? And so their directions to get from where they were to where he was would be different. They're not all going to head north for 40 kilometers because then they'd be in three completely different places. One's going to head north for 40 kilometers, one's going to head east for 25, and the other one is going to head west by southwest for like 100. Right, but from each perspective, it's different because their paths are different to reach even the same destination. But this comes out with the Archangel Commander. So what's interesting is, though, with the kindred around the hallowed flame, it was hydromancy and the Queen of Swords energy. But over here, it's pyromancy and the King of Swords. This was before and after the Ace of Fire. This is before and after the Page of Cups. Now, Archangel Commander is interesting because it puts us in a position. The Archangel Commander moves us closer to the divine. Well, the way that I've been reading Archangel Commander, it's Archangel Michael. It would basically be if like Archangel Michael stopped by one day and he's like, hey, so I've been talking to some of the other angels and I've talked to the Father and we think that you're ready for the truth. And you're like, what are you talking about? I already know the truth. Die. And Archangel Michael's like, okay, well, put this helmet on because without it, and you're still going to go, but the helmet is going to your brain back together, right? Instead of just being a puddle. And it's almost like they're meeting on the Archangel Commander. But what is the sun for man is the moon to this angel. It feels like it moves from a solar energy down here to a lunar energy up here. What we recognize as, what we would think as like truth down here, the angel recognizes as like it's there again, it's that like there's a piece of the truth in it, but it's not like complete. It's merely a sliver. It doesn't provide enough. It'll provide daylight on earth, but up in heaven it could be a full moon, could be a new moon, but it ain't the same as the daytime. Now, because this is the keeper, this is in the same line as the keeper and the burden one. And again, it's like it feels like they're approaching Michael or Michael's approaching them. We see the Ace of Swords here. And this did originally come out under the Ace of Swords. We see the sword and the shield. The shield is a little different because it's like the truth within the truth, 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 within the truth. It's like falling through a wormhole. But there's something like, I feel like there's a saying, but I can't fully remember what it is, but it's like how even the truth can be different depending on the tongue that wields it, or depending on the tongue that speaks it or the mind that approaches it. It's like when the Archangel Commander holds this sword, it's like it means, and like, again, he has his own sword. You can see it's in the scabbard under his cloak. When he was like, hey, this was your sword. I always have my sword. And that, I feel like that narrative of the Archangel Commander came out before I got the Vitruvian edition or before I got the Revelations edition. I think. Maybe not, but I think it did. Where Michael was like, oh, that's your sword. And you're like, what are you talking about? You said you didn't have your sword. And Michael was like, I'm never going to not have my sword. Hello. And you're like, that's what I said. But you said you didn't have it. So I had to go and do whatever myself. With great power comes great responsibility. Since this is in the 3D, it more so emphasizes the great responsibility to the one who showed themselves as responsible. Now the power is sort of like invited or whatever, and being initiated into great power. Because I mean, after you give somebody money or after you give something to someone, you can't dictate how they're going to use it. And if it's something of importance, you can do your best to like educate somebody and to outline like, this is what this is for, this is how you do this is how you do that. But once it's out in the world, it's up for people to use and determine and make sense of in whatever way they see fit. And if it's too valuable, sometimes again you have to go through the orientation first before you even step foot in, near, or around. It's almost like one of those, like, there's something that I have to tell you, but before I tell you, you have to sign this NDA. And you're like, why would I sign an NDA when I don't even like, I feel like you're jumping the gun here because I don't even know what this is about. And you already got me signing stuff. I don't know. But it's one of those, like, once you know, it's precautionary. And again, like when this came out under the air, it made a certain type of sense because it was Archangel Commander under New World Order and Apocalypse. But because I aligned water to water, it feels like it leads to, it predecesses the keeper and the burdened one. And I guess it's also interesting that we have to look at water from 3 different perspectives in order to be invited to a greater truth. Because again, like, we see water as a function of fire, earth, and air. This would be fire, earth, and air coming together to get a picture of water. Heavenly fire is water on earth, giving me the magician from the tarot Apocalypsis. What is fire in heaven is water on earth, temperance, the balance of fire and water. Anyway, it takes all 3 perspectives to even glean anything, and what they would see as like a more complete truth, to the angel, it's like it's the moon. But then it's like, okay, you know enough. Let me blow your mind. And then you come up to the keeper, and it's like, what? Whoa, is that where I saw him? Are these different? Oh my gosh. Was it literally right here? Was it literally before and after the Ace of Cups? Because I was looking at that sigil, right? I was looking at that sigil in the book of maps, and I'll show you again. And I was like, I feel like I've seen this on another card. And then I looked at the wheel, and I was looking at the wheel of life, and I was like, nah, it's not on those. This one, I was like, I feel like I've seen this. And now that I'm looking at the keeper, we can see like half of it. Oh, let's see. Oops. Let's see if I can't do a little camera perspective magic. Oh, well, I don't know. This will be a little rough. Almost. You see it? I'm trying to get it where like this is half and this is half. Yeah, it won't. Anyway, I guess I could just make it smaller. Like it's giving me this energy. Almost. You see that? Wow. Or at least it's similar-ish. The seal of God. And there are two seals on each hand of the burning one. There are two seals in the keeper. Wow, look at that. I didn't even catch it. So this is giving me this energy. And then you see the two hands. And again, there's something about the colors. There's this sparrow. It's like instead of these being, it's that crisscross again. More crisscross applesauce of the double Vajra. And this is the water. This is before and after the water. So it was like water, air, and aces. Or it was air, water, in the aces, but water, air in the pages. I don't know, girl. We are made in the image of the creator, but we ain't all necessarily creating like it. We can do our like 3D co-creation. We can do our 3D laws of attraction and manifestation. We can follow our 3D bound hermetic laws, codes, keys, and principles. But it's like the truth is so far beyond that. But even like the hermetic laws are just like, okay. Patrick don't know nothing about nothing, but every now and then Patrick will come across something through the algorithm or whatever. And it's like the 7 hermetic laws, the 7 hermetic principles, those in themselves are the precursor to an initiation into something far greater. It's like the prerequisites that you have to take before you get into your actual coursework, but it's almost like math class. It's giving me math class energy, where when you're in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, you learn that you can't take bigger numbers away from smaller numbers. You can only take a smaller number away from a bigger number. And then after a few years, they teach you about negative numbers. When your foundation isn't established to the point to introduce concepts that are more abstract or less concrete, right? Because if you have 5 apples and then you eat 2, you can see that there are 2 left. But when it comes to like a debt that we incur, we don't necessarily see the lack of it until we lose it, right? Like if I eat 10 apples, but I only have 5. It's like, how does that work? But that works because when someone passes out apples, you ate more than you get. So you'll miss 5 rounds of apples being passed around. And then after that 5th round of missing out because you were -5, now you get an apple. And again, like even with it's like it's you we have to have a certain foundation before we can exceed it. So you have to be taught that you can do this or you can't do that or you can't do whatever. But then eventually when you get to a certain point, you'll learn that you actually can. And again, it just gives me math energy because that's what that's what my journey through maths and arithmetics was. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this other thing until a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you find out that you actually can. They lie. They lie in math. And math ain't the only thing that they lie to us in. But it's just like it's giving me that type of energy. Um, and then when we come down to this Ace of Pentacles, now we have the Magician and the Ivory Shield. The Ivory Shield is the Keeper of Secrets. The Ivory Shield in the Vitruvian edition specifically for me is the Keeper of Secrets that we are not yet ready to comprehend. And again, it's very like title card energy. The title card for me is Live Life and Find Out, because with what you know now, it'll be so easy to misinterpret or misunderstand whatever we are seeking or inquiring about. But it's the Ivory Shield that enforces that boundary. When I see her, especially in the Vitruvian edition, especially in certain contexts, she's like the you shall not pass. She's this. And she'll raise that sword and she'll be like, back up. And I'll be like, okay, backing up. Because what I don't need on my spiritual ledger or whatever is you misled, misguided in this way. You caused this person to do that and all of this other stuff because you received the warning and you didn't heed it. And you, excuse me, as the trusted person or whatever, ignored it and led this person astray. Now, is there whatever on them? Yes, because they have their own discernment and intuition. But as the person in that trusted space, as the official, when you were warned and you didn't heed it, it's on you. And I live my own life enough to be responsible enough for me that if I can intuit that, I will acknowledge it and honor it. Because Patrick ain't, I don't want that on my ledger. You know what I mean? I can't afford it. So it's interesting that she's here. Also, she's giving me that dynasty lovers energy. I'm looking at the other cups in this that are on the table. No other cup on the table has anything growing out of it. The Ace of Cups doesn't count, but it still doesn't. Right? These are the other cups on the table, and then the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, 3 of Cups. Ace of Cups has this translucent pearl. You can see the tail of the dove, so it might as well be invisible. It's questionably visible. And then even in the 7 of Chalices, we have 7 cups. And while there are things that adorn the cups, there is nothing besides this wreath that comes out of the cups. See this, I'm like, that could be coming out of the cups. It could be behind it too. But in the Archangel of Healing, she carries these 3. Are these cosmos? Speaking of cosmic letter opener, my Animal Crossing knowledge tells me that these are cosmos. There are these 3 yellow cosmos that are blossoming in her cup. And those three yellow cosmos, again, giving me the energy of what grows in the void. These aren't cosmos, but it's giving me this energy that we saw in the dynasty. And she's presenting. Oh, yeah, we see them down here. They actually grow out of the cup. She's the one that welcomes us into that centum in this deck, rather than her being as backup. Don't make me call security. She is security. She'll handle you in a way that you would have wished that she called security. I remember, like, I don't know. There were some times with my grandma. So I was raised in a spare the rod, spoil the child household, and a spare the rod, spoil the child family. And especially when I was younger, I was a lot. But my grandma, I don't know if she's ever, but she would go like, "I'm disappointed in you." And it would hurt worse. It would hurt. It would be the most like crushing. She'd be like, "Really, grandson? Like, you know." I'm like, "Ooh, just anything but that. I'll take a rod. I'll take 10 rods. Please, just don't hurt me like that. No, Mama, don't say it. No." Why did I even bring that up? Why did I bring that up? I don't remember. Oh, because I was joking about the seven of like the Queen of the Ivory Shield. Like, you're gonna wish that she would have called security, because although it would have hurt, it would have been far less painful. Grandma hurts emotionally. The body heals, and sometimes the body forgets. But the heart, oof, that's deep, right? I'll take the chocolate. I'm just, um, oh my gosh, it's our prayer hands. Okay. So anyway, when we come down to the bread of life, it's almost the most protected. Whoa, when did all that happen? Hello? It's almost the most protected element, almost, but the least alien, or the least. It's almost like there's the least amount of discrepancy between the Ace of Earth, what it is, and what we would think it would be, because it's just like life. Um, like, it's easy for us to understand that there are forces beyond our control that influence and affect our lives, because, you know, or it's easy for us to go like, once you know more about something, then you're better informed, you're more aware, you can see how the relationship between cause and effect, like, stuff like that. So when it comes to like the fire and the air and the water, like, it feels like it's not as like, oh my gosh, are you telling me that there are things that govern my life that I didn't understand, that affect me in ways that I didn't know? I knew that. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You ain't got to understand life to live it, right? All you got to do is be born. And all you got to do is like keep living, and you'll probably continue to encounter more and more. Um, but to be given the reign, again, to just like to co-create, and to co-create to higher and higher degrees, to get closer and closer and closer to living out that piece of the divine that we were created in, being the creation of the creator, who is also capable of creating within creation, or maybe creating your own creations. Um, this feels like the most easy, but not the least significant or powerful in any way. And again, it's this universal Mercury. It's the hand of the magician being up here. The all is mind. The universe is mental. But it's so much more than that. Again, because there are three other elements here. It's more than just mental. And that even in that, it's like it looks at everything as a result of the mind. There, everything is a function of the mind. The all is mind, the universe is mental. The earth, your experience, it's the mind. Your emotions, the mind. Your soul, questionable, but it's the mind. Or it's like it's true, but we may not necessarily comprehend the depths to which it is true, or what that all truly affects and impacts. But also, it's because in the bread of life, it's being presented. There's this translucent, maybe invisible pearl of the Holy Grail. But again, in the bread of life, it's being presented, it's being like handed over. The Queen of Cups is like giving us our flowers in this deck rather than her being like, don't you dare. And then we have the Magician. Now, we have the Corruptor and the Gardener down here, the Herald of Earth. This is almost like, and again, it follows after the water. After the Archangel Commander is like, if you want to know the truth, I can tell you the truth. But with the Corruptor and the Gardener, this is like the wolf that wins is the wolf that you feed energy. This is how doubt with action, especially like doubt paired with action or doubt paired with inaction, can get us to miss out or lose out on stuff. It's any of that. It's our ego, it's our pride, it's pick a deadly sin, pick one of the seven, pick anything that we avoid, pick negligence, pick literally anything that has the power to affect our experience and to either nurture or poison our creations. This is the us acting piece. Because even if you were like a co-creator, even if you were creating at creator level, your free will can still get you to not honor, to not nurture, to not accept, whatever. Earth seems the most straightforward, but again, it seems the most straightforward just because like we're used to like if you do this, then that happens on one hand. And then on the other hand, even if you do this, that still might not happen on the other hand because of luck, because of fortune, because of favor, because things that you didn't know, because there's only one job and 50 applicants, because, you know, whatever. So, the thong song. Excuse me. Oof. Oh, no parental consent needed. My parent would consent. I mean, on one hand, she would consent, but on the other hand, she wouldn't just be like, you know, there was a fine line there. So yes, but no. Maybe it depends. Anyway, that's this. Oh, the Four of Wands is here. Here it is. Because I was thinking about, on one hand, it could be the Seeker going deeper and deeper into the temple. On another hand, it could also be the burdened one. Because the burdened one is another card with multiple pillars instead of just the two that lie at the gateway or entryway. Cool. this was up here. Justice, death, and so when deserved, when earned, when whatever. Because again, the sword is hidden. If the all is mind, we don't see it. We see, again, we see the balance, we see the interplay. We don't necessarily see the forces behind the scenes in full clarity until we get plopped into this non-liminal space, until we're shown that truth. We have justice, and then we have pre-justice with the Queen of Swords. She is my pre-justice. I mean, a lot of people read the Queen of Swords as pre-justice. Minor justice could be the Six of Pentacles. I could see the Six of Pentacles being minor justice energy. Also depicted with the scales. It's like minor justice has the scales, pre-justice has the sword and the Queen of Swords, but only full justice has both the scales and the sword. And the right awaits me. The Hermit and the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords was New World Order and Apocalypse. So yeah, it's definitely like when you seek the divine and the divine like really, but again, it's so easy to seek when we desire. We seek the divine because we want our lives to change. We want the money, we want the car, we want the job, we want the person, we want the status or the whatever that comes with being spiritually whatever. And it's almost like, why else would you approach the divine if you didn't want? Why would you ask for more or different if you were completely happy? Right? Or if all of your needs and wants were met, why would you like seek a higher power or a higher authority? Why would you go beyond the logical, reasonable, or the easily digestible, right? I feel like there's something there's a celebration with this Four of Wands. Like even reaching that point is a milestone in itself. The Four of Wands is celebrating milestones, but it's not necessarily like the end all be all. The Four of Wands does and can mark a transition point. So again, to see the Four of Wands following death, it's the death of your single life and the rebirth into your married life or partnered life or whatever. It's the death of your life as a student and the beginning of your life as a practitioner of whatever you learned. It marks the end of one phase and the beginning of another. But it's like there's an emphasis on the beginning or something new or something following in that Four of Wands. It's not like this is it, right? The Six of Wands achievement a little closer to that, but the Four of Wands itself, there's what comes after. It's part of the celebration. Like it's the celebration is a marker of that transition. Like the New Year celebration. You're celebrating the end of one year and the beginning of another, regardless of where it falls in the year, or regardless of where it falls in the calendar year, right? But there's something about this Ace of Swords. This Ace of Swords, it's rooted in one thing. It's almost like if this, oh, look, there's a what? How did I not catch that? There's our bird. The bird from Death. There you go. This one. There it is. But anyway, I don't even know if I feel like doing anything now. It's like if this is the world and this is heaven, the Ace of Swords is our understanding of the links between it. And then there's even like the waters above the firmament a little bit that come out with this magician. And again, it's something about the wings of truth going back to the hallowed flame. It's like one truth leads to other truths and more and more and more and more truths, like how questions can lead to questions. Excuse me, I don't even know if it was, especially like after I started to read these, I was like, oh, I don't even know. I mean, even from the beginning, there's something about discernment, the suspension of disbelief, maybe the suspension of belief. It's more so a suspension of belief than it is disbelief. And maybe it's because it can be so hard to suspend belief that it makes it easier for us to see certain things as we want to see them, or it makes it easier for us to fall for the ruse or whatever. Kirsty, it is so late over there. Oh my. It's bedtime. It would almost be time for me to go to work. I would be headed to work. Anyway, it's fine. I think I'm gonna get a final card. I kind of want to get one more. I wish, like, I don't know. Oh, I have the Whispers of Lord Ganesha. I'll pull one of them. I don't know if it'll be helpful or illuminating at all, but we'll see. Is it down here, actually? Because I haven't used this deck in forever, and I love it. And I love it. And I love it. That's different enough. You can't copyright strike me. This was obviously inspired by me. No, it doesn't copy, but I can clearly see the inspiration. It's like, what are you talking about? Were you not inspired at one point? Okay. Let's see. So through all of this meandering, again, we kind of get somewhere. We get to the point where it's like, yeah, it's beyond our understanding. Like, if you've ever been to Barbados, then you know. Or if you know about Barbados, then you know. If you don't know about Barbados, then you know. Let's see. Understanding and nurture. Nurturing understanding. You got to slowly break somebody in. If it's too much truth at once, it can lead to fractured mental states because our minds are very fragile. Oh, I don't know what I am. I can be an early bird, but I'm a natural night owl, but I can also be an early bird sometimes if I have to be. I guess my secret is that I'm always tired regardless. Oh, snap. Wholeness. Number 24, wholeness is the card, and it came out on top of the burdened one. So the Holy Grail, the burdened one, the Herald of the Waters, and the Archangel Commander. So right next to the Keeper. And the reason why I say ooh is because of the Merkaba there, but almost giving me the Sigillum Dei, the sigil of the gods energy. Oh, why did I even have to pick up that card? It's literally on the hands here. Hello. Almost giving me these. Almost. utopia, the Fata Morgana, grounding something, bringing it down. That was around the sacred, that was around air. Because in the, no, that's the card of isolation, isn't it? And the card of isolation and the magical dimensions, oracle cards, and activators, there was like this radiant snowflake type thing, and water was pouring from it. Did you really? Oh my gosh. So let's read wholeness, number 24. Acknowledge the oneness of all life. Recognize that you are part of something larger. You have a connection here with not only this life and physical body, but with the divine and the universe. Ganesha is guiding you to recognize the sacred truth that you are a divine being, here to give and receive love. It is time to recognize your role in this life. You are complete and whole as you are. You lack nothing. The simplest way to win hearts is through your actions. Green is representative of the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the center where we experience love. When the heart chakra is open, you are able to create a safe and supportive, loving environment. When the heart chakra is clear and in balance, you will find compassion for all life. You may be more empathetic. You may be able to see the divine in other people. You will find you are happy and fulfilled because you are fulfilling your divine purpose in service to humanity. Your sense of self is not limited to the ego. Your consciousness will expand, and you will realize that to love others is to love yourself, because we are all one. This card symbolizes peace. You are asked to take a moment and hold the color green in your heart. You may experience a soothing, relaxed feeling that will bring a sense of renewal and self-control. If you are in need of healing, breathe deeply and affirm your health and healing. And then the bottom of the deck is number 2, surrender. I'll show you. Am I reading it? Ooh, surrender and delight, number 3. Just like chilling, chillaxing. Surrender. In the state of sleep, manifestations take root. Here is a chance for rest and recovery after the challenges and various lessons that have recently been coming your way. Ganesha is offering the option to retreat into a calm environment to replenish your energy and regain your composure. There is a need to stabilize your energy and recognize that you have been wrapped up in a stress-filled time. Brief periods of respite will enable you to improve your energy levels and concentration, as well as bring greater peace to your heart. This will set you up to start anew. No matter how big the task you are involved in, times of recovery, including a good night's sleep, are important to heal the body and rest your mind back to positivity. Regardless of what you are facing, Ganesha is gently reminding you to surrender this challenge for a while. You can take time for yourself, knowing that when you are ready, the task will be there for you. If you are trying to make a decision or change, this may not be the best time. Give yourself a much needed break and decide once you have a clearer head. Well, that sounds like what the end is like. If you're asking for healing, if you are in need of healing, breathe deeply and affirm your health and healing. And then we have surrender. I think the most important or the most standout thing for me is in the state of sleep, manifestations take root. And it's because in dream, in the state of sleep, our concept of what is true or untrue, what is possible, our concept of reality is completely different in a dream. So outside of our conditioned limitations, no, outside of our conditioned perception of limitations, in the dream, everything is more relaxed and nebulous. In a dream, you could see this probably easily. In a dream, it's possible. In reality, it doesn't necessarily make sense, because the dream is the return to that wholeness. In dream, we wax closer and closer to our divine element in nature, because the human physical is asleep, right? And then we have achievement. Oh, snap, number 42. 42 achievement, which is the mirror, and then empowerment is under achievement. And we see probably the solar plexus there. But in Revelation is under achievement. 42, achievement, the mirror to the 24, wholeness. You have achieved wholeness. Or in this surrender, we can achieve wholeness. Cool. 2442, my bad. Mirrors. All right, I'm going to get some final cards. It's been over 3 hours. Oof. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it took this long. Noises. This has been a collection of noise by Patrick. Thank you for listening. Filling silence. Oh, I'm ready to go back to bed, which is fine. I have successfully navigated today, I guess. I'll go to bed and then I'll wake up for my night shifts. I don't know why. Maybe it was like the 2 weeks being on days, or the 2 weeks not having to be on nights. Then I'm just like, oof, this readjustment is a little rough. I don't know. We'll see. They managed to find their way back at the cut again. Can't keep them separated. Can't keep them separate. Now the Ten of Swords is there. The Ten of Swords is like minor death. Ooh, let me shuffle like this because the cards are already bent. Ooh. There we go. Is it like this? Is that how you shuffle? Ooh. I'll take it. Like how you shuffle long ways. Oh! I'm not taking all that. No! What's in my lap? The Three of Wands. Pyromancy. Oh, yeah, duh. The energy of expectation. Three of Wands. Fell in my lap. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups. There's some cards over here. La Muerte. And that Ten of Swords. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Death and minor death. Over here. La Muerte. I thought there were more cards that fell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got all of them. What? So the card that came out. Six of Pentacles? 3, 7, the Seven of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why is this Seven of Pentacles in despair? This is interesting. Like this Seven of Pentacles see the gardener. Didn't I say, I was like, I've been seeing the gardener so much. I feel like maybe I'm not doing it justice. Like it keeps coming out. And then here it is. But this Seven of Pentacles, like she looks like she's in despair, but like all of this abundance is like literally right here. And then she got at least that, like not appreciating what she has may potentially be keeping her from receiving all that is meant for her. Potentially. Also, this is giving me like passageways. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups. Oh, let's shuffle it again. Let's give it one more shuffle. And the Four of Cups being like, again, missing out, lacking, or feeling like they're missing out and lacking. And again, it's like doubt. Doubt plays I'm not going to say that doubt doesn't play a certain part in stalling manifestation, but oftentimes the biggest culprit is doubt causing us to take an action or to remain in inaction and to miss an opportunity, right? It's like strength. It's like if you think of courage or if you think of strength, and if you say that like fear is something, like if you feel any fear at all, then you're never going to get anywhere in life spiritually. You'll never get what you want. Your manifestations will always be outside of your reach. But that's not necessarily the case, right? You just have to be strong. You have to be brave. You have to be courageous. Regardless of the fear that you feel, you still do the thing that your intuition discernment tells you to do, and it brings about result. So again, you can doubt all you want, but as long as you still do the things that your intuition discernment tells you to do, that's how you build trust or faith in it. That's how, like, it can in a way be a way to build faith. But again, like it's not doubt itself that does anything. It's what doubt causes us to do when it's not metered by the equivalent of courageousness or bravery, doing it anyway. Right. I don't know. Just like lately, it feels like that's coming out a little more. All right. Final card, please. Oops, somebody flipped over on the slide. Who was it? We got two cards, the Ace of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is Ocovado, the Hanged One. Let's see. Oh, I'm not going to read the book. Hello? No, I'm not reading the book. I'm pulling up my phone. Where fire is transcendent. So it would end in Cardinal Fire. Cardinal Fire is Aries, so that's the last three. That's Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So no, because this is fixed Earth. So this would be a body of Earth. Oh, duh. This is Taurus. Why was I overthinking this? This is Taurus. Taurus is where water is the element of transcendence instead of fire. But if I read this outside of that, this feels like a need for discipline. And the Hanged One is the one who can't, like, it's giving me discipline. It's like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that. Like there's fortune exchanging hands. There's like the energy of gambling or just pulling cards, reading, either gambling or trying to read fortune rather than to like live life in a way that is conducive to returns, right? And so it can be that energy. It's like, yeah, sometimes you may not feel like going to the gym, but after You, after like a however much time of consistency, when you start to see the results, you'll appreciate those days that you went in when you didn't feel like it. Right. Yes, you can blow all your money on whatever, but when you make that investment, you'll have an appreciation for the day where you get a return on it. And of course, there is balance. All work and no play makes anybody miserable, or can make a lot of people miserable. Some people love to work. Um, and it just seems, I don't know, with the hanged one being at the bottom of the deck, it's almost like forsaking pleasure in a way that other people may be like, why would you do that? Just like hangman and like sitting in oddball energy. Like it's so weird that you just like you invest all your money rather than like going gambling and like blowing it all. Like why? And you may be the first self-made dollar heir in your family because I don't know, you have spending habits that are different or whatever. It can also be an energy though, because a king of pentacles in balance understands that pleasure, the fulfillment of pleasure and having pleasures in life is also a key to having like a balanced life. A king of pentacles would be able to understand that, you know, sometimes you have to spend money on things that aren't necessarily profitable to have a life that like you enjoy. Or it's not even that, it's like it would be the king of pentacles that understands when you have to have like mental health days to deter burnout. Because if you burn out, ain't nothing getting accomplished. But it's like it's a part of balance. There's a greater understanding of balance that allows for what people may not necessarily think they will allow for. Right? It's like the bodybuilder who like has a cheat week or a cheat day or whatever. And you're like, what? You're cheating on your like diet? Isn't that gonna ruin your whatever? And they're like, no, because I'm dedicated and determined enough that I can afford this cheat day. Like my body trusts me to take care of it, so I can eat not great for one day and my body won't like freak out or my body won't try to pull from what isn't healthy for it. So it'll just pass. Right? When you have a balanced diet for long enough, your body will go, oh, we don't need this. Just like let it through. But if you don't have a balanced diet, your body's like trying to pull protein from water. I don't know. Your body's like holding on to everything, allowing things to maybe rot inside of it because it's just like, oh, we don't know when a vegetable is going to hit this. Yeah. I hope these are all upright. But it's like it's a part of balance, joy and happiness, and frivolousness. Frivolosity is also a part of. It's like it's what makes the work worth it. For some, sometimes. I think my curiosity is officially satisfied with this whole magician debacle. Ooh. The hallowed flame came out, and the herald of the winds is at the bottom of the deck. So this is our non-modal fire and our non-modal air. Do I remember this was the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups? This was the... It was the third one because I moved it. No, I moved it second. Girl, I don't remember. I already forgot. This is the, this was the, this is the part where I say, I don't remember. My brain literally can't even think right now. I'm going to try. I know that this was the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups, the Scarlet Shield and the Kindred. This one was right here. It was under the World and Judgment. The World and Judgment was the Ace of Swords. Under it was, I don't remember. It's fine. The message of the Herald of the Wands is justice, the Chancellor. This is interesting. It's almost like the Herald of the Winds is giving me scabbarded sword energy. Oh, she's like, come with the carriage, like get in. I bring a summons from the Chancellor. This is judgment energy. This is being judged by justice. And in this particular depiction of justice, you can see both on the scale, the heart and the feather. This is a heart that is as light as the feather. The heart might be a little heavier. I don't know if the heart is a little heavier or if the scales are like moving and it's just like tilted down a little bit. But the heart and the feather are close enough that the Herald of the Winds is bringing news that the hallowed flame, like the torch, is going to be passed on or whatever. Like, congratulations. You've lived in a way, you've loved in a way, you've conducted yourself in a way that the divine has determined you ready for. In one way, the divine has determined you ready for a greater truth. But it could also be your intuition or your discernment. There's something about your life, something about your future, something about the vision. You're receiving more of the vision, basically, type of energy. Now I'm going to try to think. What was before and after that Herald of the Winds? I don't remember. Was it a major? The Archangel Commander was here. It was under the World. I gotta go to the bathroom. All right, thank you, Holly and Kirsty, for being here. I hope you all have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that your curiosity itch has been scratched like mine. I feel complete, especially because nothing followed, nothing made sense. If it made sense, if it followed the zodiac wheel, maybe I would have went further. If it came out with a message beyond those who seek shall find, but first you must leave behind, you must suspend your belief and everything you believe to be true. The divine was so much bigger than we thought. I think that was this. It was the sharpshooter, the Eight of Wands, and the eminence, the Nine of Pentacles. That's what was before the Herald of the Winds. It was that energy of like the divine being so much more than we may think, but also the divine is close enough to help us in those times where we need it. And I gotta go. So I'll catch y'all later. Bye.